I'm Kim, and I am an alcoholic. And I am so grateful to be on this journey, to have gotten another chance at sobriety, and am doing the deal. You know, I come from a long line of alcoholics. My family, on both sides of our family tree, were just riddled with alcoholism, and as I get older and as I learn more about the disease and in this program, I can really see how it just ravished our whole family. My dad died at 59 from this disease, and his dad died at 49 from this disease, and I just figured that was going to be my destiny as well, that I would be, dead by 59. I have one brother. My mom and dad and my brother and I'm from Austin. I was born in Austin, and we lived in San Antonio in the Austin area. They got divorced when I was in third grade, and so that's when life really turned upside down. And it was a very, very chaotic childhood, and it really lent the opportunity for the insecurities that this disease really manifested inside of me. I always felt different. I always felt not a part of. I never felt included in things. And coming here and doing the work and learning more about myself, swallowing these hard truths about myself, and learning, just humbling myself to just the travesty, the wreckage that I caused when I was in this disease. I was hopeless. I was absolutely hopeless. And what I've got today is I've got hope, and restoration has occurred in my family to the degree that I never even dreamed. The inclusion, the trust that's gained back. It's just I can't. I just can't. Like Lisa said, I am on fire. I am all hopped up on AA, and I love it. When my parents divorced and things got real wild, it was in Austin in the 70s, the mid 70s, it was like 73 to 77. We were there in the Oak Hill area, which was real country and western stuff. Willie Nelson, my grandma had beer joints, and we hung out in the beer joints. We shot pool. We played dominoes with Willie Nelson. I mean, we thought we were really cool little kids. We got to go behind the bar and make our little, with the little sprayer, make our Cokes and stuff. And we were hot snot back then. We didn't have electricity at our mobile home, but we were hot snot in the beer joint. And that's the truth. But we moved around a whole lot. We were, like I said, San Antonio, and then to Austin, and we also moved around with family. A lot of different family members tried to take my brother and I in, and it never stuck. Nobody ever kept us, I guess is how it sounds. Nobody ever wanted. But they my grandma, we lived with my grandmother for a while, and then we lived with my other grandmother for a very short while. My dad finally got us, and we lived in Louisiana for a while, lived in Metairie and in Slidell, and then we moved to Florida. So I got to start high school in Florida, and that was really cool. We lived in Bradenton, and it was really neat. I belonged, and it wasn't a bad deal until it became a bad deal. My stepmom we had stepmom and stepsisters, and that was a real unhealthy environment. It was very unhealthy for myself. And my brother, he left Florida a couple of years before I did. He came to Houston to live with my mom and stepdad here. During that time in my development, there was a lot of inappropriate experiences that we were subjected to, my brother and I. And it was just a jacked up childhood, and I didn't realize it though at the time. I thought everybody kind of lived like that. I didn't realize that there really was like Brady Bunch living, or that there was the normal childhood, I guess. But I think as a result, I I lived in fear my whole life. I've shared before, the lump in your throat, that fear of something, whether it was getting in trouble for school, bad grades, or just not doing something right within the household to get in trouble there. So it was just a real messy existence. Came to Houston myself. I got tired of Florida and the step situation, so I came to Texas too, and stayed here. So I was here from like 1982. I graduated high school in '84 and made friends and started my experience as a young adult. I was 17 when I graduated high school, and back then you got or in my family at least, maybe not all kids were raised that way, we got a U-Haul and a prepaid phone card. I don't know if anybody remembers the prepaid phone cards. Yeah, that's what we got for graduation. And shortly after I graduated high school, in the summer of '84, my mom moved to Chicago. So I was here by myself, and I had this sweet little $199 apartment over off of West Gulf Bank in Antoine. It was awesome and scary. And it was an experience, but I didn't have much parental support or guidance, and I navigated the best I could. I had a steady boyfriend, and I think that's what made her think it was okay to leave. That was paired off. She got that check. I was done. That didn't work out, thank God. Thank God. Say it with me, class. I mean, that did not work out. It was just what we did. I mean, we partied and had a good time. We went to the beach all the time and just lived that kind of, no looking back lifestyle. I met my husband. We met actually in New Braunfels, and just started dating. He lived in Houston and I lived in Houston, and we started dating in 1990 and started our family in 1995. We lived in North Carolina. He and I moved to North Carolina. We had our mountain bikes and a dog, and we said, what else do we have to do? Let's go to North Carolina, and promptly started a family. Got there, and about 9 months later started our family. So the mountain bikes kind of got put away, and we were there for 5 years, and got back to Texas, and we have 3 daughters. We lived in the same house. They went from kindergarten through high school, the same stop sign, bus stop, and things like that. Which is absolutely the opposite of what I had. And so even in all my drinking and passing out and all the bad stuff that occurred during the alcoholism, I didn't, we had electricity, we had the stability that I didn't have as a kid. So winning, but it really wasn't, it was, today I get to hear from them because I'm back in the circle of trust, they call it. I get to hear some of the trauma that's still there, even though we're all good friends and we go. I think it's been. I could relate. Let me think. Actually, I'm going to slow down a little bit. I don't look nervous. I'm not. I'm just going to slow. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. I am here among friends. I'm going to slow down and think about what I was going to say. I really did kind of lose my thought. I do know that when my kids were younger and my husband and I were partying and carrying on, like I said, the fact that the kids still had that sense of stability, we were still married, everything was normal as far as all that went. We didn't do a good job. Neither of us had our heads on straight, and we didn't do. It's a wonder they've turned out to be as good of a people. I mean, they're great human beings, and I'm so truly blessed for that. No credit at all, just truly blessed that God has continued to keep me in His inner circle all these years, because I didn't think I was worthy. I thought that I had burn that bridge. I thought that that used to be my partying joke. I already got my boarding pass to hell. It's just silly. But, I see now, just so much error in my ways. And I know that they say don't regret the past or shut the door on it. But, I do have the what ifs I'd have gotten this sooner, because I was in and out of these rooms for a long time before I finally had it hit on my head enough to right size me and to look at myself in a different light. And I credit that to somebody that's here. She let me see myself in a way that I'd never seen myself. I had done the steps several times with other sponsors, but the hard chunks of truth that were brought to my attention and that I learned about myself, and the awareness that occurs now daily because of this program. I'm able to clean up the wreckage that the damage that I've done to my kids because of my alcoholism. I'm able to do better every day, and I'm able to let them see that there is recovery, that there is light at the end of that tunnel, that this we don't have to, it doesn't have to end like it ended for my whole family. My brother is, we're pretty much estranged. We don't really communicate very much at all. He's very much enjoying the out there lifestyle. I certainly wouldn't want to label him anything because that's not my place, but I do know that the apple didn't probably fall too far from the tree. But you know what I love about this place? I love the fact that I can come here no matter what and say anything that I think is going to be shocking or embarrassing or compromising or anything, and somebody here has been through it and done it and can relate, and it's brought a level of peace to me that I never knew it was possible. I have I can remember walking in these rooms 11 years ago and seeing people that I still see today, and I used to think, I want that. I want that peace and serenity. They just seem like at ease with life, and I wanted that. And I kept, I would come in and I would point out the differences, and I would see the things about them that I wanted, but it wouldn't work for me because type of thing. I was absolutely judging everyone's outsides to my insides, and I've always done that. And I realize, now it's not what it's about. And I don't know. I have seen the mortality in this room. I've seen people die from this disease that you would have never expected them to die from this disease. I've created friendships and acquaintances with people that have died from other things in these rooms. But to see the disease take people like it has, the sign keep coming back. It's been said that not everybody gets that chance. I was blessed enough that all of my in and out of the rooms that I did make it back in here. I know what people mean when they say, I know I have one more drunk in me, but I don't know if I have another sobering up. I know now what that means, because the sobering up was unbelievable. I was ruled by fear then too, and today I know that no matter what, it's going to be okay. That God's going to provide for me and my family, like it's just amazing to me. I have a whole lot more time, y'all. What are we going to do? I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we'll play bingo or something. I don't know. I found that what started out as a good time, what started out as fun, definitely the roles switched, and alcohol stopped working for me. It stopped doing the fun, and the vitality was so gone. I was alone in my closet, or actually I would just be upstairs and everybody would be downstairs, and I could hear life go on while I'm upstairs in my room, sneaking the wine, because, I was just drowsy. I wasn't, that's what I went upstairs for. But, when my kids would try to control that, and they would come into my room and try to find the alcohol, I mean, that was a hell that I put them through, and I never even saw it. All I could think about is, I hope they don't find what's in this pillowcase behind my head right here. I hope they don't find that one. And they didn't, They gave up on me. They all were just going on with life. And I remember my very last drunk in 2020. It was, it had been a long binge of Mother's Day, then Memorial Day, then Father's Day, and then my daughter's birthday, then 4th of July. All of those I was drunk and out of the picture for. And the family was caring less and less and less. And it got to where they didn't even check on me to see if I want to go. They made their plans around me, and that was life. And that was the last time in July of 2020 that I couldn't go on that way anymore. And I knew that something had to change. I was working aggressively. I was being very, I don't know the right word, but I was being very well taken care of by somebody that didn't give up on me. And I don't know why, because God, that's why. But the fact that what was done the way it was a God thing. And I appreciate it to this day. Today I'm able to realize my behaviors, and I'm able to be aware of my thoughts and my negative thoughts and stuff before they take hold and before they are off to the races. I can kind of figure out why. What is it that's disturbing me about this situation, and be able to pray, call a friend, look at my book, read my big book, and find out, what I can do to get out of this, get out of myself, helping somebody else. Today I was so nervous about this, can you imagine? And I got out of myself. I went and helped a neighbor across the street that was doing some stuff, and I worked with my daughter. I got to help my daughter while she just had a baby. And, when I came in here 3 years ago, they lived about 5 houses down from us, and my granddaughter was 2 at the time, and they wouldn't come to the house. They wouldn't even come to the house with supervision. She couldn't come, and they wouldn't do anything with us at all. Now we have Sunday dinner every Sunday. They're over. They live right next door to us, and so I've got a 22, 23-day-old little grandson, and I've got my 5-year-old granddaughter. That, it's just. These are things that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for this program. I mean, I have car seats in my car, and so that's something that that wouldn't have even been possible had I not continued to give this a chance and do the work and work the steps. I mean, it's so cliche, everything that everybody says, but oh my, it is so true. It's just, it's a lot. An hour is a long time. It is. I mean, let's see, what else can we talk about? Let's see. I know that I was a big drink at people. I would drink at things that having the 3 kids, I was always... busy. Like I say in the meeting, in this 6:30 meeting, that I was always doing service. I had 3 kids, and so service is what I did. Laundry and lunches and dinner and all of that stuff was service to the world. Y'all are so lucky, and it's it's not. That's not what it's about. Now I realize that those menial tasks and the mundane of every day. That's a bigger picture for God to see. That's God's work. That dumb stuff that you do every day that nobody notices, He does notice. I truly believe that He does. And like I said, when I was younger, I was scared every day. We were pretty badly abused. I would fail PE because I couldn't get dressed out because of the bruises, and then my dad would beat my ass because who fails PE? What kind of an idiot fails PE? And then, you can't say why really, but I can just always remember how fear controlled everything, and I don't know. I heard it in these rooms about that hole that we tried to fill with other stuff, and it's not even. I don't remember exactly how it was said, but it's like it's not even a hole to be filled. It's just replaced. I guess I don't know. Believe it or not, it's not coming out right. So I don't know what to say there, but it's just sufficient replacement, or where the book talks about that you're going to find something better than what you had, and that's just how I feel every day. I come to this meeting, I come to this club every single day, 6:30 in the morning, at least 6 days a week, not every single day, maybe 5 days a week. The last week it was 3, but that was because no, I'm kidding. I was teasing, but I know that being a mom, I completely lost myself and didn't even have a chance to figure out who I was. I was almost 30 when I had my first child, but all we did was party. We didn't do anything to cultivate a future or see who we were. I went from job to job and just partied and had a good time. And today I'm paying the price for that, for sure, as a middle-aged lady without a good infrastructure on the career path. But today I get to laugh, and I get to hang out, and I get to realize that all that stuff really doesn't matter. What matters is the joy and just the pure delight that we get to have, just laughing and having a good time, playing games with my family, riding in the car together. We would always drive everywhere separate because I was drinking. And, I wasn't going to have that interfere with that. When they got old enough to drive, we all went everywhere separately, even if it was a long drive. And today, we all ride together. I mean, all of us will ride together. There will be 9 people in a minivan, and it's like, really? It's awesome. And I just, the gifts that this program has given me, the gifts that God is letting me work for, is something I never knew was even possible. I didn't think that I was worthy, and I'm learning to believe it when people say I'm worthy. And it's not easy. I was raised in the opposite of that. My dad was, well, why would you try out for that? You'll never make it. And so I see now how deep-rooted that goes, to where even now I can't take a compliment at face value from my husband of 33 years. I mean, and it's just a work in progress, and I'm so grateful for that. And the fact that I do not have the alcohol monkey on my back anymore. I don't think there's anything that would make me take a drink today that I would pick up for, and there's nothing that is worth it. I had thought before about, have I had anything really bad? Have I had to go through anything really hard in sobriety in these last 2.5 years, 2 years and 9 months and something days? And it's like, looking back now, I'm like, no, not really. It's been pretty smooth sailing. But actually, at the time, there were, I wish that would have been the thing saying it was time. That would have been cool. Oh, man. Is anybody sweating? I'm sweating, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I don't know. I just, I think, when Lisa asked me to do this, I felt so much a part of, and she referred to me in one of the mornings when she said, do we have any announcements? And she said, our very own Kim will be telling her story. That's something That's fucking something. And I never felt that before. I've never felt that before. Even in my own home, and like they talk about, we can be in a room full of everyone that loves us, and we love them to death. Christmas morning with everybody there, and you still feel alone. I don't feel that way when I come here. I don't feel that way when I come here. And I don't think that's a fluke, like the internet. I don't think it's a fluke. I think it's going to stick around. And I just don't. Prove me wrong. My hat's off if y'all could prove me wrong. But, you know, I just, I am so grateful that I was one of the chosen, you know, that God is, you know, I used to be so scared that I was going to be one of these sad unfortunates that couldn't be honest with myself or couldn't be honest with what it was. And I can remember sitting back there thinking, oh my God, how am I going to do this? How am I going to say that stuff? And when it came time, it was a non-issue. God made it happen, and my sponsor it was how it was supposed to be. You know, they say nothing happens in God's world by mistake. And although I wish that I could have done some of this stuff a lot sooner, today is a beautiful day. And today's hardships are nothing. You know, they really are nothing, because it's going to be okay. You know, I always was the whole, you know, if only he would love me this way, if only we had this financial security, you know, if only blah, 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 if only I had that kind of car, everything would be fine, you know. If only I had a minivan that opened on both sides, then everything would be fine. And, yeah, I got that, and it wasn't, you know, and it's just, but it's true, you know, I did. I lived my whole life thinking that if that would happen, then everything will be okay. And it's not like that. It's right here today, everything is okay. You know, I'm pretty sure that mess is still, that peeled banana, that banana peel, still going to be on the counter when I get home, and that's okay. That is okay. No, really, it is. I'm just teasing. It's funny. I was saying yesterday, my husband, or it was this morning in the meeting about my husband, did some stuff to the washing machine, and I said, you know, what happened? I thought the clothes got, you know, I thought the washing machine stopped working. He goes, oh no, I was looking for something. I was like, I had already taken everything out and like made sure the washing machine was working properly, which it was. He was looking for something. And so then today he's asking, he's like, well, where are the vitamins? You moved them. I'm like, they're in the drawer. Right there, the counter. They're right there in the drawer. And so things like that used to just be just so annoying, and now it's just so funny because it's like having a teenager in the house again. And it's cute. And it's like, you know, what's it really worth? You know, is it really worth your serenity? Is it really worth your peace? No, it's really not. None of it is. And, you know, I'm so blessed that, if nothing else, there's been a kink in the chain of the addiction and the wreckage and trauma that alcoholism has done to my family. I have cousins on both sides of my family that are, you know, very, very much raging in this disease, and, you know, it's sad to watch. I did share with some of my dad's family, my dad's brothers, that I was in the program and that I'm doing this, and they didn't understand. They don't understand, and it's okay, because I'm still here and I'm still going to be able to help if anybody ever needs it. And, you know, my kids, with all the horrible stuff that they saw, this is what they see today, and they know that they can depend on me today. They know that I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, and that, you know, I'm not going to leave them at Chick-fil-A or anything. I have I have clarity, and I have my wits about me, and I don't have, you know, the shroud of drugs and alcohol. But not only that, I have my pride, and I have self-esteem. Whereas before, I mean, I didn't even know that was possible. You know, I can't say enough about how much this program has saved my life. And the byproduct of my life being saved is the generation that you know, 3 daughters and their families, you know, you never know. You just never know what could happen. And I'm I'm just happy to be here, and I'm really wondering if the clock stopped. I can remember being a young girl and the fighting with my parents and stuff, and always that kind of thing. And I used to think, I'm never going to put my kids through that, or I'm never going to do this to my kids or that to my kids. And some of those things I didn't. But that doesn't mean that they weren't so negatively affected by my behavior. And our behavior as parents we just didn't have our heads on straight when we were raising these girls. And the fact that God still has been with us throughout it all, even when we abandoned him, he's always been there. It's just, I don't want to take that for granted. I don't want to just look a gift horse in the mouth and be like, oh yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I'm in awe of what God is doing with every one of us in this program. Every one of us in the world that is affected by this so positively. It's been amazing. I learned about the movie called Bill W., which is actually got Bill Wilson, real footage of him in there, he and his wife Lois, and it's just so tangible. It makes it all so tangible. It's within my grandmother, of course, was way alive back then, but it's within the my parents' existence. It's been within their lives as well, and now to see how it's mushroomed into what it has, I mean, it's just so neat. My dad suffered badly from this disease, and he died very, very alone. They found him disoriented, didn't know who he was and all this, and took him to the hospital, and they gave him 1 month, and it was 1 month to the day that he died. He got to be in hospice for a few days, so we got to, experience that. My dad was my superhero. I didn't realize that he was a human for many years. My dad was he played for the Longhorns, and he also played for the Houston Oilers, and he was a real badass. Now, that's a lie. That's what he told me my whole life, that he played for the Oilers, and he did not. Found that out while he was in hospice. So yeah, my dad also said that he was in the Marines, so at his funeral, some guy came there playing the bagpipes, and it's like he was not in the service at all. And it's like, poor Dad. And I just it's sad. And I know now so much stuff about him that I didn't know then. And as kids, the way that we understood it, my mom was the bad guy, and it wasn't the case at all, and nobody's completely innocent. But yeah, my dad he was a raging alcoholic, and he lived every single tendency, or he lived, I've heard said that we are like, we have, is it the egomaniacs with an inferiority complex? And I would say that is absolutely, that describes me in my heyday, and that describes what I remember my dad to be like. It's just amazing how this disease is so, like it says, cunning, baffling, and powerful. I thought that I could outsmart it. I thought that I could be the exception to the rule. I purposely, intentionally misled my family on some of the stuff I was learning in these rooms, because that way I could still manipulate the drink when I wanted to. I decided that if I got them drunk enough, him, not them, the kids, not the kids too. At least I didn't do that. I got the kids. I would get him, try to get him a little more toasted so he wouldn't be able to tell what I had going. And, it was just it was an awful, sad existence. It was always, in my room alone, and I could hear them downstairs doing Christmas decorating or, whatever. I could hear them cooking dinner. I could smell it. I could, I would have to be, how am I going to get out of the house to go get more alcohol? How am I going to get past everybody to go do that? And I remember when my granddaughter, when they came to town, and I was upstairs, sick, drowsy, and I heard them telling Georgia, "Oh, you can't go up there. Meemaw's sick. We can't go up there." And I thought, this has got to stop. I cannot do this anymore. And then I did it some more and some more, And I would look. My husband would leave that morning, and he'd look me right this in the eye. "Don't do it." "Okay, I'm not." And I would go right upstairs, and I'd shake whatever I could and cash out. I would take $7.85 in coins to that little store to get my wine if I needed to. And it was just the incomprehensible demoralization that occurred for me in that part of the journey was incomprehensible. I never thought that it would get like that. And it did. I lost the power of choice, 100%. I didn't even want to not drink. I would get up in the morning. I would make sure that I had enough of these little bottles to get me to where I could get to the store by 7 a.m. Well, actually, 7:30 is what I thought it was, but it was 7. So 30 minutes of pure hell almost every morning because I thought it was 7:30, but it was 7. And those poor guys were like, "Would you like some coffee?" And I'm like, "No. Will you put my PIN number in because I'm shaking?" And it was truly, really like that. And, that guy, one of the guys at the little store, and we all did the whole going from place to place so nobody knew your frequency and your amount. At the end, I didn't care. I went to the same store. It was the quickest jaunt to and from. And that same guy works at Kroger. He's got 2 jobs. And so when I see him at Kroger, I just saw him this last week. He's like, "Oh, you look so good." Oh, it's like, it's just amazing that I have the life I have today because I didn't think it was going to work out that way. I thought my kids were going to bury me and that I was just going to be an embarrassment and that they weren't going to have anybody like I didn't have anybody. And then I remember that 4th of July weekend just very, very desperately trying to figure out why. Why can't I get this? And what do I need to do differently, God? And I don't know what happened, but it happened. And it's still happening, and I'm so damn grateful. I have the ability today to help others, which I never thought I had anything to offer anybody. And I'm finding out that when I share sometimes at a meeting, somebody will come to me and say that meant something to them. And I never thought that could be. I thought that I just was a bullshitter and a joke teller, and that I could tell funny jokes. And they stop being funny when you're in your 40s and the 20s jokes aren't cute anymore, You're like, they know why that dollar's in your pants, We've heard it all the time, again. Even my kid, yeah. I don't really particularly care for the belly laughs that my family have today at the memories. They laugh at some of the stuff, and I try to say too soon. But they don't, and they, oh God, it's horrible. Some of the stuff, they think it's funny, some of it now, but I don't because I realize just exactly how bad it was. But the good time drinking. That we did have some good times, but the bad time drinking was, it was, what they say about the cucumber and the pickle, right? We're all cucumbers, and then when you become a pickle, which we're all, I'm pickled for sure, you can never go back to being a cucumber. And I let them think that I could go back to being a cucumber. And now today, the level of honesty and an open dialogue that my family and I have about everything is again something, the fear and loneliness and isolation that I had as a child has been absolutely, what's 3 times 3 times 3? Is that something like, I know it's 9, I know it's a lot, but what I mean is it something like squared, because I have 3 kids, so would it be tripled? I don't know, but anyway, it's compounded immensely, let me say that. The friendships and the love and the inclusion and stuff, it's something I never dreamed I would have. It's like having the 3 best friends, and I've never really had girlfriends, and I'm just so glad that I don't know, y'all know what to say. It's just 40 minutes and 39 seconds, 40 minutes and 40 seconds, 40 minutes and 41 seconds. So, I don't know. I am, I do appreciate that you've asked me to do this, and I'm sorry that I am fluffing it up so much, but it's, let's just see if there's anything. And I don't have my glasses on, but I'm not going to stop and fumble for them, so, yeah. I remember let me see, what else would be good?
It's not mandatory to fill the hour.
Really? Why didn't you tell me that? Oh my God! Man, y'all, we could have had a gratitude meeting. Yeah, really. Anybody else's deodorant bill? Mine is. You didn't tell me that. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Well, I will wrap it up then by saying that no, I truly I'm so honored to be included and part of here, and I know that I meet the requirements for membership, and I hope that I also meet the requirements for friendship, because that's something that I never knew was possible. I am immensely grateful, and if there's anything that I can do to help give back, I want to be available to do it. I want to be the hand of AA that somebody knows they can rely on me. For a while I have a lot of extra books, and I'm like, just if anybody needs the trunk's open, everybody needs some books, and it's funny because I have a friend that she tells me, she's actually a cousin. She's like, I've been reading that book, and you just never know. The envy that I had of being left out and not being able to drink while everybody in my family and stuff, they all drink. Now it's the opposite. Now I feel like I'm going to be the one that they want to be more like, because as their drinking progresses and as life changes, you never know. They may want to be with the cool kids. Maybe not. I don't know. But if they do, we have a place for them for sure. Man, y'all, that was good. 43 minutes and 9 seconds. I'd say that's about it.
Let's see, she's got some good notes. What else can I tell you about Kim? Thank you so much, Kim.